Hi again, it's Margaret, and I have a delicious, quick, and healthy recipe for you. This is a great side dish or a wonderful dish to take to a dinner party or a veggie meetup or something like that. And it is tomato mango salad. I had this years ago. I'm talking maybe 18 years ago at a dinner party, and it was so good that I just kind of stared at everything that was in it and made sure I remembered it, because it is a delicious recipe and it's different and it's full of spring and summer vegetables and fruits that just kind of are great this time of year. So the mangoes inspired me at the market to remember this dish and to share it with you. So let's get started. Here's what you're going to need. First of all, it depends on how many people you're having. Tonight it's just a small side dish for my husband and I. So I'm going to just use one mango, and then depending on how big that mango is will determine how many tomatoes I use. You can use the vine ripe tomatoes, or you can use the little bitty tomatoes. These are so sweet that I really like these. Then you'll need some fresh basil and some balsamic vinegar. The older and the more aged and the sweeter, the better. So, but it can be quite expensive. So just try to find a really good one in your market. Also, one reason that I love this is tomatoes and mangoes both have so much vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin B6 and fiber. They're just a super healthy fruit for you. So let's get started. First of all, I took one mango, just a regular size mango, and diced it up, and it fills up about half the bowl. Then I'm going to do about the same amount of tomatoes. You can vary the recipe as you want. When I first had this, it was not vegetarian, and they also added either blue cheese, I believe it was, or feta cheese, which I will not be adding now. But if you were serving this to people who eat cheese, then you could add that, and it was at the time, I ate cheese at the time, and it was delicious in it. So that's an option, but I wanted to keep it vegan, and so this is one way to do it, is just omit it, because it's just as good without it. It really is delicious. So I'm just taking these tiny little tomatoes and slicing those and adding them. As I said, any kind of tomato will work. So, and I just try to do equal parts. If I were doing this for a dinner party, and it was a pretty good sized dinner party, I would probably use 2 or 3 mangoes and the same amount of tomatoes. If you need to do them in a measuring cup so you know how many to do to keep the ratio kind of the same, that's an easy way to just measure it. So the other thing is the basil. It's a key ingredient to this. I am so proud of my basil. It's growing so well. And as I wanted to share with you guys, I pinched off just the top and stuck it in water, and look at the roots. They're just already rooted. So this will be outside this spring ready to grow. And all you do is just kind of pinch off, you probably know this, but where it begins to grow out, you just go down to where the base of the root kind of meets the next shoot where it's coming out, and it has to end. And so then you can take the basil, and mine has been inside. I had some more here. I have several kinds of basils. Basil is just delicious. It comes in different varieties, and every variety really has a unique and different flavor. So you can put as much basil as you want. If you're kind of a basil head, go for it. If you're a little more conservative in your basil, that's fine. I've got these two just sitting here rooting, and I love that. But you do need to cut back your basil. You can also choose, bigger leaves and use those as well. But you do need to make sure that you always cut back your basil and just keep it kind of in here. So I would say I'm using about maybe 1/4 of a cup of basil, not pressed down. So we've got our tomato and our mango and our basil. And believe it or not, this is just such a delicious combination of flavors together. Then I'm going to take my balsamic vinegar, and you just drizzle lightly on the top. You can keep this at room temperature and just let it hang out, and it will just continue to marry the flavors together and just becomes more and more delicious. It's so pretty too. Look at just how beautiful this turns out. I love the fact that it's fresh, it's healthy, it's light, You don't have to even use the vinegar in it if you don't want to, but again, it just intensifies and adds a little more flavor to it. And the basil just makes it so fresh. So, tomato mango salad. It's great, it's delicious, it's easy, it's 3 or 4 ingredients, and the option's yours. So I hope that you enjoy it, I hope that you try it, and remember, life's full of choices, so choose wisely. Thanks for watching.